Hello and welcome to the Mastermind semi-finals with me, Clive Myrie. In the spotlight tonight are Nancy Braithwaite, a teacher. She'll be answering questions on the celebrated Italian artist Caravaggio. Chris Hook, a Royal Navy officer. His specialist subject is Premier League darts. James Barrow, a master's student whose subject is the award-winning television series Inside Number 9. And Gary Austin, who's retired. His specialist subject is the computer programming pioneer Grace Hopper. For our contenders tonight, the stakes couldn't be higher. A place in the Mastermind Grand Final is up for grabs. As our semi-finalists wait patiently to do battle, have they read enough, learned enough, put in the hard work worthy of a place at the top table of quizzing? 2 minutes of specialist subject questions and 2.5 minutes on general knowledge will decide who gets the chance to compete for this wonderful glass bowl and the title of Mastermind Champion. We wish them well. So can I ask our first contender to join us, please? Your name?
Nancy Braithwaite.
Your occupation?
Teacher.
And your specialist subject?
Caravaggio.
The life and career of the troubled artist, known especially for his dramatic use of lighting. In 2 minutes, here we go. Caravaggio was born Michelangelo Merisi in 1571, and his early life was divided between the town of Caravaggio in Lombardy and which city?
Milan.
Yes, in a work gifted to the Grand Duke of Tuscany, Caravaggio depicted which mythological figure on a circular canvas mounted on a shield made of poplar wood?
Medusa.
Yes, which cardinal bought Caravaggio's paintings, The Gypsy Fortune Teller and The Card Sharps, in the mid-1590s?
Cardinal Francisco del Monte.
Yes, in Caravaggio's The Rest on the Flight to Egypt, as an angel plays the violin, Joseph holds up a part book displaying a musical composition by which Flemish composer of the Renaissance?
Baudouin.
Yes. What's the title of the work, commissioned in 1606 and painted by Caravaggio for the altarpiece of the Church of Piemonte della Misericordia in Naples?
The Seven Acts of Mercy.
Yes, in 1603, Caravaggio became embroiled in a libel trial after scurrilous verses had impugned the reputation of which rival artist and biographer?
Giovanni Baglione.
Yes, in The Card Sharps, what board game can be seen at the edge of the table where the card players are seated?
Backgammon.
Yes, which of Caravaggio's patrons commissioned his work Omnia Vincit Amor and displayed it prominently in his palace near the Pantheon?
Vincenzo Giustiniani.
No, close. Vincenzo Giustiniani. Which painting, commissioned by Ciriaco Mattei in 1602, depicts 7 figures, including Judas, Jesus, and a man thought to be the artist himself, holding aloft a lantern?
The Betrayal of Christ.
Yes, in the autumn of 1609, Caravaggio was attacked, seriously injured and badly disfigured as he left what tavern in Naples?
The Osteria del Cerrillo.
Yes, one of Caravaggio's last works, commissioned by Marcantonio Doria and completed in the spring of 1610, is a painting depicting the martyrdom of which saint?
Saint Ursula.
Yes, during a journey to Rome in 1610, Caravaggio died at the age of just 38. In which small coastal town in Tuscany?
Porto Ercole.
Yes, the calling of St. Matthew and the... I'll study so I'll finish. The Calling of St. Matthew and the Martyrdom of St. Matthew are large works commissioned for which chapel in the Church of San Luigi dei Francesi in Rome?
The Contarelli Chapel.
It is the Contarelli Chapel. So, Nancy, at the end of that round, you had no passes. You've got 12 points. And our next contender, please. Your name?
Chris Hook.
Your occupation?
Royal Navy officer.
And your specialist subject?
Premier League darts.
The annual darts tournament run by the Professional Darts Corporation and staged at different venues across the UK and Europe. In 2 minutes. Here we go. Since the competition began in 2005, most Premier League matches have been played on which day of the week?
Thursday.
Yes, during a 2015 Premier League match, which player accused Peter Wright of being unprofessional when he stepped away from the oche to tease the crowd?
Michael Van Gogh.
Yes, in 2006, which Scottish events complex became the first venue outside England to host a Premier League night?
SSE Arena.
No, the AECC. In an interview in 2015, which player appeared to admit that he deliberately lost a match in the 2011 Premier League, although he later clarified what he meant?
James Anderson.
No, Gary Anderson.
Gary.
Phil Taylor's 44-match unbeaten run in the competition came to an end on the opening night of the 2008 Premier League when he lost 8-6 to which player?
James Wade.
Yes, during the 2010 Premier League, the PDC raised money for which charity campaign by the Institute of Cancer Research by selling T-shirts with darts-themed slogans?
Havens Hospice.
No, Everyman. In 2020, Fallon Sherrock became the first female player to take part in the Premier League when she drew 6-all in a challengers match against which player?
Glenn Durant.
Yes, what collective name was given to the 9 players who each played a match in the 2019 Premier League in place of Gary Anderson, who withdrew from the competition at late notice?
Challengers.
No, contenders. In 2023, which player scored the Premier League's record lowest 3-dart match average in his 6-2 loss against Michael Smith?
Glenn Durant.
No, Nathan Aspinall. What score did Michael van Gerwen check out on, finishing with a bullseye to win the 2013 Premier League final?
132.
Yes, in the 2024 Premier League, which player was booed by Liverpool football fans in the crowd when he held up 2 fingers and a fist to taunt them about the club's 2-0 defeat by Everton the day before?
Robbie Savage.
No, Luke Littler. Which television personality provided guest commentary for the 2010 Premier League final and presented the trophy to the winner, Phil Taylor?
Sid Waddell.
No, Stephen Fry. In the 2021 Premier League, which player miscalculated his score after missing the 7th dart of a 9-dart finish attempt, but then completed a 9-dart finish in the next leg?
Jose de Sousa.
It was Jose de Sousa. So, Chris, at the end of that round, you had no passes. You've got 6 points.
Thank you.
Our next contender, please. Your name,
James Barrow,
your occupation,
master's student,
and your specialist subject.
inside number 9.
The dark comedy anthology series created by Rhys Shearsmith and Steve Pemberton, broadcast from 2014 to 2024 in 2 minutes. Here we go. What menacing figure from Germanic folklore features throughout the series 3 episode, The Devil of Christmas?
Krampus,
Yes, during Nana's party, the title character's daughter, Carol, hides in the bathroom to drink alcohol from a bottle that originally contained what other substance?
suntan lotion,
Yes, Mark Gatiss, who was a member of the League of Gentlemen alongside Shearsmith and Pemberton, joins them on screen in 2 episodes, plodding on, and which other in Series 7?
Merrily Merrily,
Yes, when the team known as Christopher Bigwins introduced themselves in the game show 3x3, they revealed that they all work for the same recruitment company in which English town?
Doncaster,
No, Farnham. Which actress stars as Beatty, the new homeowner of a flat with a dark past in Death Be Not Proud?
Jenna Coleman,
Yes, on the first night of the stakeout, after a brief game of I Spy, Pemberton and Shearsmith's bored constables decide to play what storytelling game instead?
Fortunately, Unfortunately,
Yes, in Tempting Fate, when contractors clearing a house discover a cursed object, Nick, who says he has a PhD in ethnology and folklore, identifies it as a statue of what creature?
a hare,
Yes, which cinematographer is credited as the director of photography for the first 2 series of the show, as well as some episodes in Series 3 and 4?
Stephen Pearson,
Yes, in La Couchette, Dr. Maxwell is anxious that his train journey should not be delayed because he's on his way to an important job interview with what international agency?
the World Health Organization,
Yes, a cover of what UK #1 single is featured twice in The Last Gasp, including when it plays over the end credits?
I'll Be There For You,
No, One Day in Your Life. In Curse of the Night, the piano tuner Jonah is amazed to see a rare Bechstein piano, saying that he's heard that there's one in what famous building?
Buckingham Palace,
Yes. What's the name of the website used by characters played by Claire Rushbrook, Matthew Horn and Francis Barber, who are all seeking romantic partners in Love is a Stranger?
Palm Dates,
It is Palm Dates. James, you had no passes, so at the end of that round, you've got 10 points.
thank you.
And our final contender, please. Your name,
Gary Austin,
your occupation,
retired.
and your specialist subject.
Grace Hopper,
The American mathematician and pioneer of computer programming who served as an officer in the US Navy for more than 40 years. In 2 minutes, here we go. From 1959, Hopper helped to create and encourage the widespread adoption of what standardized computer language?
Kobo.
Yes, although she was to study and teach at the prestigious Vassar College in later years, Hopper was initially denied a place there because her scores in which subject were too low.
Latin.
Yes, in 1943, Hopper joined the US Navy Reserve and was sent for officer training to the Midshipmen's School for Women based at Smith College in Wichtown in Massachusetts.
Northampton.
Yes, which physicist was the head of the computation project at Harvard University when Hopper was posted there in 1944?
Howard Aiken.
Yes, Hopper co-authored 3 articles describing how Harvard's Mark I computer functioned, which were published in 1946 in What Scientific magazine?
The Journal of Electronic Engineering.
No, electrical engineering. In the early 1950s, Hopper was a member of the team that, with finance from the National Bureau of Standards, developed a groundbreaking electronic commercial computer known by what 6-letter acronym?
UNIVAC.
Yes, what's the name of the town on the shores of Lake Wentworth, New Hampshire, where Grace met her future husband, Vincent Hopper?
Widnes.
No, Wolfboro. In 1941, while teaching at Vassar, Hopper also took lessons from which celebrated mathematician in his department at New York University?
Von Neumann.
No, Richard Courant. When Hopper finally retired from the US Navy in 1986, aged 79, the ceremony to mark the occasion was held aboard which historic ship?
USS Constitution.
Yes, the data processing compiler that Hopper and her team at Remington Rand created in the mid-1950s to make writing programs easier had the working code name B0, but was later given what new name?
Flowmatic.
Yes, although she'd retired from the Naval Reserve in 1966, Hopper was brought back into the service at the request, I've started so I'll finish, at the request of which computer specialist, who was special assistant to the Secretary of the Navy at the time?
Norman Ream.
Yes, Norman J. Ream. Gary, at the end of that round, no passes, you've got 8 points. And at the end of the specialist subjects round in this semi-final, let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 6 points, it's Krish. In 3rd place with 8 points, it's Gary. In 2nd place with 10 points, it's James. And in 1st place with 12 points, it's Nancy. So now it's the general knowledge round. And if there's a tie at the end, then the number of passes is taken into account, and the person with the fewer passes is the winner. And if they're tied on passes as well, it's a tie break. So let's ask Krish to join us again, please. Krish, you start with 6 points. You've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Here we go. What 3-letter word can refer to a type of flying mammal or a handheld club used to hit the ball in games such as rounders?
Bats.
Yes, Skiddaw, Bowfell and Great Gable are mountains in which English National Park?
Peak District.
No, Lake District. What 1975 film directed by Steven Spielberg is set in and around the fictional New England resort of Amity Island?
Jaws.
Yes, in order to tune up an orchestra, an A note is typically played on which woodwind instrument?
Flute.
No, oboe. What cartoon strip created by Reg Smythe first appeared in the Daily Mirror newspaper in the 1950s and features a title character who is a stereotypical working-class British man and his wife, Flo?
Charlie Brown.
No, Andy Capp. The politician Emma Little Pengelly, who was appointed Deputy First Minister of Northern Ireland in February 2024, represents which party?
DUP.
Yes, a Democratic Unionist. Which 16th century English poet wrote the long poem, The Fairy Queen, which he dedicated to Queen Elizabeth I?
Blake.
No, Edmund Spenser. What Latin name meaning small moon is given to the whitish crescent-shaped area at the base of a human fingernail or toenail?
Ulnar.
No, lunula. Which impressionist and satirist, born in Edinburgh in 1961, often performed with John Bird and John Fortune, including in their self-titled television series that began in the 1990s?
Connolly.
No, Rory Bremner. Coho, spelt C-O-H-O, is a Pacific Ocean species of what edible fish?
Tuna.
No, salmon. The national flags of Bulgaria and Hungary both feature 3 horizontal bands of white, green, and what primary colour?
Red.
Yes, what name, after a type of kitchen utensil used as a whisk, is given to a method of treading water commonly used by players of water polo, moving the legs in a circular motion?
Whisk.
No, Egg Beater. Which rock group formed in Leicester in 1997 topped the UK albums chart for a 7th time with a 2024 release entitled Happenings?
Little Faces.
No, Kasabian. What classic cocktail made by mixing white rum, pineapple juice, grenadine and maraschino liqueur is named after an actress and studio owner born in Toronto who was once married to Douglas Fairbanks?
Tom Jones.
No, Mary Pickford. Before its mission ended in 2017, the Cassini space probe, launched by NASA in 1997, spent 13 years orbiting and gathering data on which planets?
Mars.
No, it was Saturn. Krish, at the end of that round, you had no passes. You've got 10 points.
Thank you.
Next up, it's Gary. Gary, you start with 8 points. The score to beat as it stands is 12 points. You've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Here we go. Kyushu and Shikoku are 2 of the 4 largest islands of which Asian country?
Japan.
Yes, the phrase on the ropes, meaning close to defeat, originated in which sport?
Boxing.
Yes, in July 2024, which Labour politician succeeded Lord Cameron as UK Foreign Secretary?
Pass.
In inorganic chemistry, what's the general term for any substance that accelerates a chemical reaction but itself remains unchanged?
Catalyst.
Yes, the name of which English seaside resort on the north coast of Devon is unusual in that it includes an exclamation mark.
Westward Ho.
Yes, what Oscar-winning 2018 film, directed by Barry Jenkins, is an adaptation of a novel of the same title by James Baldwin?
Pass.
At the Euro 2024 tournament, which England footballer shared the Golden Boot award for the competition's top goal scorer with 5 other players, each with a tally of 3 goals?
Harry Kane.
Yes, what adjective meaning faultless is used in maths to describe a whole number, such as 6, 28 or 496, that's equal to the sum of its positive factors, excluding itself?
Perfect.
Yes, which American rapper topped the UK singles chart for 5 consecutive weeks in 2023 with the song Paint the Town Red from her hit album Scarlet?
Cardi B.
No, Doja Cat. When he was christened in 1948, King Charles III was given 3 middle names, Philip, Arthur, and what other name?
Louis.
No, George. What name, partly derived from a Greek word for blood, is given to a hereditary disorder resulting from a deficiency of a type of blood-clotting protein and characterized by prolonged bleeding following an injury?
Hematosis?
No, haemophilia. In which play set in 18th century Bath and written by Richard Brinsley Sheridan do Captain Jack Absolute and Bob Acres compete for the love of Lydia Languish?
Treasure Island.
No, The Rivals. A vespiary is a nest or colony of what insects?
Wasp.
Yes, what 2-word Latin term, meaning at first face, is used in a legal context for a claim that evidence is accepted as correct until proved otherwise?
Prima facie.
Yes, what's the name of the fictional criminal in a story entitled The Adventure of the Final Problem, who falls to his death after grappling with Sherlock Holmes at the Reichenbach Falls in Switzerland?
Dr. Moriarty.
Yes, I'll take that. Which Polish city's international airport was renamed in 1995 after Pope John Paul II?
Warsaw.
No, Krakow. I've just started, so I'll finish. In Vietnamese cuisine, what type of sandwich with a name that combines words for bread and wheat is usually made with a baguette or long roll and various fillings?
A Reuben.
No, banh mi. Just the 2 passes, Gary. The Oscar-winning 2018 film directed by Barry Jenkins, an adaptation of a novel by James Baldwin, If Beale Street Could Talk. And the man who succeeded Lord Cameron as Foreign Secretary, David Lammy. Yes, you knew that. At the end of that round, Gary, you've got 17 points.
Thank you.
Next up, it's James. James, you start with 10 points. The score to beat as it stands is 17 points, and you've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Here we go. What's the full name of the London Museum, commonly called the V&A?
Victoria and Albert.
Yes, the basic calculating device, which, in its modern form, consists of rows of parallel wires with beads or counters strung along them, is known by what Latin name?
Abacus.
Yes, the Swedish scientist Magnus Siegbahn in 1924 and his son Kai in 1981 each won the Nobel Prize in which discipline?
Chemistry.
No, physics. The Italian dish zampone is made with meat from what animal?
Sheep.
No, pig. Which Hindu deity, a son of Shiva and Parvati, is typically depicted with the head of an elephant?
Vishnu.
No, Ganesh. Which British actress noted for her title role in the 2005 drama Vera Drake and as Dolores Umbridge in the Harry Potter films was made a dame in the 2024 King's Birthday Honours?
Imelda Staunton.
Yes, the Irish-trained racehorse who, in 1970, won the English 2000 Guineas, Epsom Derby and St Leger, was named after which famous Russian ballet dancer?
Novinsky.
No, close, it's Nijinsky. The River Loire rises in the Cevennes mountain range in southern France and flows into which bay and inlet of the Atlantic Ocean?
The Bay of Biscay.
Yes, the call and response composition Minnie the Moocher became the signature song of which American bandleader, singer and entertainer who first recorded the track in 1931?
Brian Eno.
No, Cab Calloway. From 1972 to 1991, Gough Whitlam, Malcolm Fraser and Bob Hawke were consecutive prime ministers of which Commonwealth country?
Australia.
Yes, what name, sometimes used for the entire large intestine or large bowel, can also refer more specifically to the longest section of it between the cecum and the rectum?
Colon.
Yes, what portmanteau word is used to refer to the phenomenon of products becoming smaller over time while the price stays the same?
Shrinkflation.
Yes, the four-letter term pram for a carriage for a baby designed to be pushed by a person on foot is a shortening of what word?
Tramway.
No, perambulator, a fox terrier called Montmorency, accompanies the trio of protagonists in which 1889 novel by Jerome K. Jerome?
A Tale of Two Cities.
No, Three Men in a Boat. Lerwick, on the island of Mainland, is the principal town in which group of Scottish islands?
Skye.
No, Shetland. Which statesman and diplomat who served as the Austrian Minister of Foreign Affairs from 1809 to 1848 played a leading role at the Congress of Vienna, which convened to discuss the reorganization of Europe after the Napoleonic Wars?
Cole.
No, it's von Metternich. So, James, you had no passes, and at the end of that round, you've got 17 points.
Thank you.
And finally, let's have Nancy again, please. Nancy, you start with 12 points to score to beat to get through to the Mastermind Grand Finalists. James and Gary's 17 points. You've now got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Here we go. A phrase with its origin in Shakespeare's The Merry Wives of Windsor, used to suggest to someone that they can profit from life's opportunities, is the world is your what?
Oyster.
Yes, the photosphere and the chromosphere are two of the outermost layers of which body in our solar system?
The moon.
No, the sun. In September 2024, which Belarusian tennis player won her first US Open singles title when she beat Jessica Pegula in the final?
Sabalenka.
Yes, small appetizers, often served with drinks, and each typically consisting of a piece of bread or toast with a savory topping, are known by what French word for sofa?
Canapé.
Yes, the 2014 biographical film Get On Up stars Chadwick Boseman as which American soul singer who died in 2006?
James Brown.
Yes, a male red deer is known as a stag. What's the word for a male roe deer or fallow deer?
A buck.
Yes, the chief legal advisor to the Crown for England and Wales is known by what job title?
The Solicitor General.
No, Attorney General. An annual international festival in Bristol, first held in 1979, is dedicated to what form of airborne transport?
Balloons.
Yes. Which Irish author wrote the 1960 novel The Country Girls, the first part of a trilogy, together with The Lonely Girl and Girls in Their Married Bliss?
Edna O'Brien.
Yes. Which synth-pop duo topped the UK singles chart in 1981 with a cover version of the 1960s song Tainted Love?
Soft Cell.
Yes. The name of which port city on the south coast of England is sometimes abbreviated to Soton, spelt S-O-T-O-N?
Southampton.
Yes, what name is given to the violent civil disorder and looting which broke out in London in 1780 and began as a protest against the passing of the Catholic Relief Act?
The Peterloo Riots.
No, the Gordon Riots. Crewel work is a form of embroidery using yarn made from what natural fibre?
Silk.
No, wool, the metallic form of which element with the atomic number 40 and the chemical symbol Zr is used mainly as a cladding material for the fuel rods inside nuclear reactors.
Zinc.
No, zirconium. Ibadan, Kaduna and Port Harcourt are major cities in which West African country?
Nigeria.
Yes, what British television sitcom, first shown in 1978, stars Wendy Craig as a dissatisfied mother of 2 teenage sons and Geoffrey Palmer as her dentist husband?
Butterflies.
Yes, what name is given to the neutral vowel sound typically used in unstressed syllables in English, which is represented in phonetics by an upside-down lowercase letter E?
Diphthong.
No, it was schwa. But Nancy, it doesn't matter. You had no passes. You've done it. 23 points. You're through to the Mastermind Grand Final. So let's have a look at the final scores. In 4th place with 10 points, it's Krish. In joint 2nd place with 17 points each, James and Gary, which means in 1st place with 23 points, it's Nancy. So she goes through to the grand final. Congratulations to her. If you'd like to be a contender in the next series, please go to our website, bbc.co.uk/mastermind, and you can follow us at Mastermind Quiz. Join us again next time for more Masterminds. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Winning the semi-final is just unbelievable. I am lost for words. It is going to take a while to process.
And your specialist subject?
Caravaggio. My specialist subject of Caravaggio, I think really I've always loved his pictures, but the moment I started revising, I realised I knew pretty much nothing at all about Caravaggio, so it's been a complete journey of discovery. But the joyful thing has been I've just got to know his amazing pictures better and his extraordinary lives. The 7 Acts of Mercy.
Yes.
Backgammon.
Yes.
St. Ursula.
Yes.
I would really love to thank my partner, Steve. Not only did he help me to choose the subject of Caravaggio, he has been testing me on general knowledge every single day since the heats. My quizzing experience really started at school when I was captain of the school general knowledge team. After school, I stopped competitive quizzing altogether until I decided to apply for Mastermind.
You've done it. 23 points. You're through to the Mastermind Grand Final.
I think winning the glass bowl of Mastermind would feel surreal, extraordinary. But then Nancy's have a great record in Mastermind. There's already been 2 Nancys who've won it, so let's make it a 3rd.